Perfect. Oh, we're live. Hey, welcome.
Yay!
Welcome, everyone.
Hi, everybody.
Wow, we made it. Abby, day 3 of
Whoop,
the
whoop.
of the summit. It's been lovely. It's been lovely. So, welcome everybody. I've been waiting for this day for a long time, actually. I just want to kick it off by just reflecting on super healers and the book that we're going to launch today. We're going to have some time for your Q&A. We're going to do a reading. All of us pick a part of the book that we enjoyed the most compared to the others. I don't know how we're going to pick it, but we'll pick it.
Yeah, can I just say something here? I don't know if everybody knows who you are.
Right.
This is Mahesh Kumar. He's my husband. He's from India, and we met in Sweden. And he's been the biggest supporter on my healing journey. Again, I said on Friday, I am talking on this YouTube channel a lot about different methods and blah, 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 like all the tools. But actually, like I should do many videos about Mahesh, because without him, I don't know where I would have been. It was such a fundamental support for me to be able to cope with the healing journey. And you've continued your support at the highest level, so to say, not only for me but for like the women of the world.
Totally.
It's true. It's true. So yeah, and the book and this summit was your idea.
Yeah.
It was
Yes.
only like me and Abby are just running around teaching hypopresses.
Teaching
And
people, training people, and Mahesh is like, let's write a book.
Yeah, that's
Let's
what
do a
makes a good
book,
team,
girls.
right? I mean, that's what makes a great team. I mean, you guys do what you do so well, and I can contribute in my way. And yeah, I mean, I've always been excited to bring people together in this journey, because I see there's a lot of pioneering teachers, pioneering women that are trying their best to reach more women, that are struggling with a lot of day-to-day things, with building their business around it, from the small to the big. And my goal since your healing journey has always been, when I watched you put together your own set of tools and to get your health back, it was very clear to me that the answer is not in one teacher, but in bringing teachers together and aggregating knowledge, aggregating support, and bringing things together. So that's what excites me. And the summit and the book is sort of a testament to that piece where we can bring people together and we can bring knowledge together. Obviously, you'll see the three of us as authors, but if you actually open the book, you'll see that we have featured a lot of women's works. We've interviewed a lot of people. Yeah, you'll see all that in the book. So it's really a testament to the fact that we need to bring more knowledge together.
yeah, and I loved what someone wrote in our community on Friday when you appeared the first time in this summit, or almost at this channel. Someone wrote that you're balancing all the estrogens very well. And I think it's something there. Like we need maybe a bit more structure and organization to reach the next level of women's health and pelvic floor health.
Yeah, because we really want to get that message out there. We really want to get the message out that the potential to heal is huge, and not enough women know this yet. So the book's been an amazing idea, Mahesh, and the summit to be able to propel us into that, to get to more women and introduce them to everything.
Yeah, my family still doesn't know what I do, so I hope they can read the book and they're like, okay, he's got a job finally. No, but yeah, it's gonna be fun. I'm looking forward to the bar conversations with my male mates, showing them the book with the flower on it. It's gonna be lovely. So, all
I
right,
did
let's.
suggest we go for a plain coffee, for the men, but Mahesh was like, no, the flower. So
No,
yeah,
no, the flower.
now everybody knows it was your idea.
I'll just make it my wife's side if it gets too much. But no, it's really exciting to be here. I've been dreaming about this day for a long time, actually. So Abby and Filippa, thank you for being part of this, and for doing all the work you do. Without you, there's no book, there is no Moonrise, there's no summit. So you are the testament to what is possible, and you show us the way. So thank you so much. I see there's lots of questions, lots of highs. Wonderful to see you all. So we'll get started. I'm just going to share my screen. So today's journey is going to be pretty straightforward. We're gonna release the book. We're gonna do some reading together, and then we're gonna answer your questions. There've been some reflections from day 1 and day 2, so we're gonna bring that up as well. So just give me a second. Här. Kan du hjälpa mig dela den? There. Okay. All right. So I hope you guys can see my screen. Perfect. All right. So I just want to quickly tell you a little bit about the book, behind the book, what the purpose is, and how we like you to use it. So we want it to be a handbook, so a complete handbook for your healing. So if you have the book, you should technically have all the knowledge to do the exercises, to find your paths, to get inspiration, to get hope, to get the knowledge you need, to get the tools, to get your health back. So just a book should take you pretty far. It's a healing companion, meaning that you're going to have days where we're going to go up and down, and we'd like you to have the book as your companion, as your friend. When I was young, I had some go-to books that I always went back to if I felt low. We want this book to be one of them, and it's aggregated, so it's bringing together a lot of different sources of information. So that's the purpose of the book. I just also wanted to do a special shout out to our Moonrisers, to Rebecca, to Helen, to Alfie, for spending time proofreading, but also to all Moonrisers, actually. You guys trusted us, many years back, especially our first cohort of women, Annette T, Kim, I hope you guys are watching. I don't know where you are. You've gotten your health back and you're running too fast, I'm sure. But thank you all. And I also want to give a special shout out to Sharon, who about 6 or 7 months back, when I was just coming up with the idea, said, Mahesh, I think, I need to see more people. I need to see more proof that this actually works. And that sort of instigated a good fire in me, because I realized she's right. I mean, we need to show more stories. We need to bring out the knowledge more. We can't just be saying, join us and you'll get it. So thank you, Sharon, for instigating that fire, and thank you to all Moonrisers. You want to add anything, Abby and Philippa?
My general thank you is to everybody within Moonrise for the community, and because the community is such a big part of what we do at Moonrise. So for all the Moonrisers who spend the time, like Karen and Alfie, and all of them who actually spend time answering other women's questions as well. So that's brilliant.
Yeah, same for me. Like all the Moonrisers, anyone watching my YouTube channel, and and sometimes just watching a YouTube video will give you a different perspective, and sometimes you want to dive really deep. So whichever level you're on, thank you for just being present in this community, because that is what is bringing this forward and developing it and creating a new future for our girls.
Beautiful. Perfect. So you're going to obviously get the book later today. By the way, we're giving the book all for free. So our goal is not to make money on this. Our goal is to spread the knowledge. So we're giving the book for free. All the resources are going to be free. We're going to redo the Super Healers website later today. You'll find the book there. Obviously, if you're participating live, you'll get it first. And we're going to give the book away for free. So it's a visual book, as you can see. So we've tried to keep balanced text with words, with videos. Obviously, you have lots to read. I know I like to read.
And this is a digital book.
To begin with, and we're printing physical copies. So we are hoping the physical copies are ready by Christmas, but the digital book goes out in the next 24 hours. So we'll start digitally, and if you find mistakes, which is likely, please send it to us. Please send it to us. We are obviously a small amateur team, but please send it to us, and we'd be happy to fix it before it all goes into print and we start printing thousands of copies. So appreciate any early feedback there. Yeah. So we obviously talk about our heal method, which is a central part of the book, with holistic, empowered, aligned, and liberated. And under every acronym, you're going to have exercises. And after end of every exercise, you have links to YouTube videos. And then we obviously have lots of focus on stories of healing. So we have collected a lot of stories, and we've collected different teachers. A couple of them you've seen during the last couple of days. So yeah, so you're going to see all of that. And we've also touched upon your healing journey, and we've spent some time doing some research here. So what I've been doing is looking at data from our cohorts, our community, and asking some questions around, their healing journey. And this is the path we found, which is very similar to what Dr. Bree spoke about on day one. Obviously, she did it with emojis, which was, I think,
Yeah, that was cool.
nicer. Yeah, it's cuter, it's nicer. But the feeling that people tell us is something like this, and you guys have lived it, obviously. So.
Yeah.
So it's not a straight linear path, and there's trough of sorrow, and then you go into hope and discovery, you go into a crisis, you go into a realization, and so on.
Or many crises.
Many crises. And
there's a few on the way yet, generally. There's a few crises on the way. So sometimes that one, yeah.
Right. There is a metamorphosis that happens, which makes you, like for instance, Sam, clearly a metamorphosis happened and she became a teacher and now she's changing her path. And, that's one example of a metamorphosis. I don't know what's my metamorphosis, but really I changed mine too. And obviously there's a new you waiting. And this is really the power of the book and power of the journey, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, and you can see below here the words rooted, ignite, surge, empower. These are phases that we've seen in general. And
yep.
Again, there's no linear thing here. We can't make like a very systematic, just analytical thing out of this process. But the heal method and the rise phases is just there to help you put words on what you are experiencing, and that will make it easier for you to distance yourself from this process, to hold space for the process, because that's basically what healing is. Like, you can't be reactive to everything that happens all the time. It's not going to take you anywhere. So it's actually for you to be able to hold space for yourself, because only you can heal you. I can't heal you. Abby can't heal you. We're super happy to facilitate anything to support you, to help you, to guide you. But ultimately, it's up to you. So I think that is also what the underlying image of this image, or this graph.
It's giving you a map, really, isn't it, Filippa? It's kind of giving you a map. You're on the journey. You're not at the end of the journey yet, but it gives you the directions, which is great.
Hey, I just saw that.
I didn't have that at all, so I needed this at the time.
No. Yeah, I just saw that somebody has ads on their live stream, which is ridiculous. So I'm turning everything off on our side, so hopefully you don't see anything. I don't know why YouTube does that. It happened the other day as well, but sorry for that. There'll be no more ads. Yeah, so no ads. Super Healers is free.
Yeah, I just want to say that because I've had comments on my videos that there are ads, and sometimes I can't remove it. Like, I'm really, really trying. I don't know if I should be like going a YouTube course or something, but I don't know. Sometimes they sneak it in there anyway. Okay, so can I take the next?
Yeah.
No, so we'll come back to that.
Yeah.
So what we do now, the book. Let's see. Zoom. Zoom. There you go.
It's usually me that does that with the tech, Mahesh, and you usually zoom in to fix me.
So let's see. So here we go.
Here it is.
Right.
Oh my goodness.
We hope you like
We
it.
hope you like it.
We do. We hope you like it.
Yeah. So let me just quickly show you the table of contents. It looks like this. Okay. No, I mean, it's become landscape. So we have 11 chapters. The first chapter is called The Healing Renaissance, Rediscovering Ancient Wisdom in Modern Times. The second chapter is The Silent Struggle, which talks about, obviously, women struggling in silence. Then we speak about disrupting the norm with Kegel surgeries and so on. Science of Healing, which is really talking about how the new science is catching up with homeostasis and the body's ability to heal. Then we speak about the heal method, which is really the focus of the chapter of the book, like the core of the book. Then rise, which we spoke about with the graph and how your journey looks like. Comorbidities, we get a lot of questions around comorbidities, everything from I have knee pain to I have multiple sclerosis to, so we speak about that. Partners in healing, this is, what you need in terms of support. Stories of progress and triumph with different stories, overcoming objections that you might have in yourself from surgery to science. And finally, we end with the poetry to being a woman and being alive in this world. So that's the last chapter. So and Elizabeth, it is a lotus flower. It is indeed.
It is.
Wonderful. So I'm gonna remove the screen sharing, and what we've done is we're gonna each of us have picked a small part of a chapter to read, a couple of minutes each, 2 to 3 minutes, something like that, right?
Yeah.
And we'll start off with Philippa, and then Abby, when you're ready, I'll put your screen back on, and
Cool.
and we'll go from there.
Cool.
So Philippa, take it away.
Hey everyone. When I chose this, it was really hard, obviously, because so many parts of the book is so close to my heart. But here we go. The mirror's reflection. After I had looked in a mirror to see what was Sorry, I should use the mic. Okay. The mirror's reflection. After I had looked in a mirror to see what was chafing and causing so much discomfort in my vagina, the image I had of my vagina haunted me. In my mind, it looked lifeless, like a collapsed space, empty and broken, with that bulge coming out from the opening. I carried the sensation of heaviness, and every time I thought of my body, I felt disconnected from it, as if a vital part of me had died. I couldn't imagine my vagina as anything other than something damaged, something that had failed me. This mental picture became a constant shadow, feeding feelings of shame, grief, and hopelessness. I remember sitting in silence, tears streaming down my face, unable to see a future where I could feel whole again. It was as though the vibrancy and vitality I once associated with my body had been taken away from me. But somewhere deep down, a small part of me resisted this narrative. I knew I had to change the way I saw myself if I wanted to heal truly. I realized that if my mind could create such a vivid image of brokenness, it could also generate a new one that reflected healing, vitality, and wholeness. Drawing from my experience with visualizations in yoga teaching, a curiosity ignited. Could this work to create new brain and thought patterns? Every day I committed to this practice. I would close my eyes, take a deep breath, and imagine my vagina as soft, pink, and alive. I visualized healthy blood flow to the tissues, fascia supporting everything in place, and energy returning to this part of my body. At first, the image felt distant, like I was trying to believe something impossible, but I kept at it. Over time, the visualization became clearer and more real. A breakthrough moment came one day when I noticed that I could feel a sense of connection, a tingling sensation, just by holding this new image in my mind. For the first time, I didn't feel disconnected to my vagina. I felt it as alive and part of me again. This was more than a mental shift. it was a breakthrough on my healing journey. Little by little, the horror image began to fade, replaced by a vision of something whole, functional, and vibrant. My vagina was no longer a source of shame or despair. It became a symbol of healing, softness, and possibility. With time, I could see my vagina as alive, vital, and capable. Pink, soft, strong, and filled with energy. This mental shift has been one of the most profound aspects of my healing journey. I've learned that healing isn't just about fixing physical symptoms. It's about reclaiming the way we see ourselves and believing in the possibility of wholeness, no matter how far away it seems. Thank you.
Thank you, Filippa.
Right, Abby. Tell me which page you want me to show if you're.
That's all right, I've got it here.
You got it here? All right. Okay.
Go. So, I'm going to read a bit from The Science of Healing, How the Body Repairs Itself, because it's really important for us all to understand that your body has such a huge capacity to heal. And I bang on about this all the time, as does Filippa, as does Mahesh. So it's really important that we have this. So The Science of Healing, How the Body Repairs Itself. The human body is extraordinary, with a remarkable ability to heal itself. Healing is not a passive process, but a dynamic and highly coordinated series of events that work in harmony to restore function and repair damage. Whether a small cut on your skin or a more profound internal injury, the body has evolved to respond rapidly and effectively to maintain health and balance. When you sustain an injury, the body's response begins almost immediately. For example, in the case of a cut, blood vessels around the site constrict to limit blood loss, while platelets rush in to form a clot that seals the wound. This is usually followed by an inflammatory response, where immune cells flood the area, fighting off possible infections and clearing away damaged tissue. Finally, new cells begin to grow, replacing the damaged ones, and eventually the skin heals with scar tissue. What might seem like a simple process is in reality an intricate dance involving multiple systems working together to repair the body. But this process isn't limited to external injuries. Inside the body, the same sequence of events unfolds when internal damage, dysfunction, or stress occurs. For example, when tissues or organs experience strain, the body adjusts blood flow, releases hormones, or activates immune responses to restore normal function. The body constantly monitors itself, identifying areas where balance has been disrupted and initiating steps to correct the imbalance. This drive towards homeostasis, where the body achieves its optimal state of balance, is the key to its powerful self-healing abilities. The body doesn't just aim to heal for the sake of healing. It strives to return to functionality. This relentless pursuit of balance, vitality, and functionality underscores how robust the body's healing process is. Understanding and supporting this natural ability can help you optimize your health in ways that go beyond temporary fixes, addressing the root of dysfunction and promoting your long-term vitality. And I think that's how we all feel about healing. Yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you, Abby. I want to go into the last chapter, chapter 11. It's page 178. So this actually turned out to be my favorite chapter because, yeah, I mean, I hope you'll agree with me. This final chapter is dedicated to exploring how healing your pelvic floor can open the door to deeper self-awareness, empowerment, and the rediscovery of your innate strength as a woman. This chapter is a poem written by the authors as a gift to you, the reader, who has shown the commitment to come all the way and show up for yourself. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts for investing in yourself. By showing up, you inspire girls, women, and mothers from all walks of life, from all over the world, showing them it's possible to be the woman you truly are. Dear warrior, you stand at the threshold of a magnificent rebirth. Your journey through pelvic floor dysfunction has not just been about healing a physical condition, it's been a heroic odyssey of reclaiming your very essence as a woman. As you turn this final page, know that you're stepping into a new realm of power, freedom, and unapologetic femininity. You're not merely overcoming a dysfunction, you're rising from the ashes like a phoenix, more radiant and powerful than ever before. Your femininity was never lost. It was simply waiting for you to recognize its indomitable strength. As you heal, you're not just regaining control of your body, you're unleashing a force of nature that has always resided within you. Embrace this truth. Your femininity is not defined by the function of your pelvic floor, but by the fire in your spirit, the love in your heart, and the wisdom in your soul. You're a goddess incarnate, and your healing journey is the sacred path to reclaiming your divine birthright. In reconnecting with your body, you performed a magical alchemy. You transformed pain into power, fear into courage, and shame into self love. This profound self connection is your superpower. It allows you to move through the world not as a fragmented being, but as a woman whole and complete unto herself. Listen closely, for your body speaks the language of the universe. Its whispers guide you to your truths. Its rhythms sync you with the cycles of nature, and its sensations anchor you in the present moment. This connection is your compass, leading you to a life of authenticity, joy, and boundless possibility. Your sexuality is not just healed, it is reborn. Like a flower blooming after a long winter, your capacity for pleasure and intimacy unfurls in glorious splendor. This is not merely about physical sensation, it's about owning your desires, celebrating your body, and reveling in the exquisite dance of giving and receiving pleasure. You're the mistress of your own bliss. Your healed pelvic floor is the foundation upon which you build temples of ecstasy, forging deeper connections with yourself and your partner. Embrace this newfound freedom as a testament to your journey and a celebration of your womanhood. You haven't just stepped from surviving to thriving, you've made a quantum leap into a new dimension of living. The woman you were when you began this journey is but a shadow of the titan you've become. You now stand tall, unshackled from limitations, ready to conquer worlds. Every breath you take is an affirmation of your vitality. Every step is a declaration of your freedom. You're no longer defined by what you can't do, but by the infinite possibilities that await you. The world is your playground, and you have the strength, confidence, and zest to explore every corner of it. Your voice, once silenced by shame or discomfort, now rings out clear and strong. It carries the weight of your experience, the wisdom of your journey, and the power to shatter taboos. When you speak your truth, you don't just advocate for yourself, you light the way for countless other women still walking in darkness. You are a beacon of hope, a living testimony to the power of healing. Your story has the power to move mountains, to change lives, and to revolutionize how the world views women's health. Speak loudly, speak often, and watch as your words create ripples of change across the globe.
Well done, Mahesh.
Thank you, guys. Yeah, beautiful. Thank you. I love the comments. Yeah, such an honor to be part of this. So really excited to bring the book to you. So now I want to open up the floor for some questions. We also thought we'll speak a little bit about the reflections from day one and day two. So maybe we'll start there, and then let's get some questions, and then we have some couple of announcements at the end. But yeah.
Any questions from the chat?
Yeah, I'll start looking properly, but maybe you want to reflect from day one and day two, and just share your summaries from your point of view.
Yeah, well, I am just thrilled, mostly with the responses we have gotten, and that I think so many women participating in this from day one and day two, and even today, of course, is feeling like a breakthrough, just this happening. And I know that this summit and this book will contribute so much to women's healing journeys, for them to feel empowered. And that's what I've heard from many. Of course, if there are many new ones meeting us for the first time, it's going to be like, whoa, what is this? Probably. But hopefully it will ignite some kind of curiosity, some kind of mind shift. You know, maybe it is possible to see things from a different perspective. And I think that is really what we want to bring to the table. So I really love the panel on Friday. And I know so many women really enjoyed your workshop yesterday, Abby.
Sure.
Yeah, they loved it. So, and I'm really proud of this mix. Like, we had a panel, we do a workshop, like it's really a handbook where you get the theory and the inspiration that you need to also combine with the practical stuff, because that is what healing is. If we do not take action on it, it won't go far.
I think for me, the biggest thing about this summit has been, one, the interaction from all the people watching and taking part, but also the message that we're getting across, the idea that we can't just heal by doing exercises. We also need to have the mindset to heal as well. And we also need to know how to take a step back sometimes and rest as well. So meditation, visualizations, these can all come from our parasympathetic kind of rest and relaxation part of our nervous system as well. So for me, that's been the best thing, is sharing this information with people.
Yeah. Abby, you've also become a TRE certified teacher.
Yeah, almost. One more jump.
One more, yeah. I love it.
Jump.
Okay, tell us a little bit about TRE and why you're doing it and how that's adding to hyperpressives and your work so far.
So I realized that a lot of the women that I meet have come from a place of trauma, and they're traumatized by what's happened to their body, or they're traumatized by events in their past, and this has been a part of their pelvic floor dysfunction, and sometimes pelvic pain journey. And I used to send my clients for talking therapy, and I started to realize that talking therapies don't always suit everybody, and sometimes this really traumatized women. So I found, by chance, a little podcast about TRE. It was spectacular. It was spectacularly timed. And I tried it out myself, and I was so amazed that something as simple as shaking, creating a tremor in your body, could create a balance in your nervous system. So it comes from the animal kingdom. That if we were back being a caveman or cave woman, we were being chased by a tiger, we'd have some choices. We could either fight the tiger, which we might win. We could try and run away from the tiger, which we might be able to do. And if we did either of those, the stress response in our body would be released. But for the majority of us today, what happens in our bodies is we've got a boss that's shouting at us, we've got children that are shouting at us, we've got constant emails coming in, demands, and we can't fight our boss, we can't run away from our children. So what we do instead is freeze. And what the TRE does is the tremor response.
What is TRE, Abby? What is TRE?
Is tension release exercises. So you create a tremor in your body that releases the stress hormones. And so at the end of a session, most of my clients who've tried it are like, there's been loads of responses, from I feel really calm to I feel like I've had loads of like drugs to that was the best orgasm I've ever had. You know, it's just, so there's been a massive array of things. But most people just feel really chilled and relaxed afterwards. And it's a really, really beautiful thing.
Love to see it.
One more jump.
Wonderful transition, yeah. Wonderful transition.
Good.
So I got a question from Trudy on email. And she's asking, is estrogen cream safe for older women, especially if there is a history of stroke? So I don't know what you want to, do you want to start, Abby, or shall I start?
You can start if you want, and
Yeah.
I can come in.
So first of all, regarding if it's safe, I would definitely ask your doctor. Like it's obviously a condition combined with medical stuff. So, and I'm not a doctor. But I do want to say that, I mean, many women with pelvic floor dysfunction is recommended estrogen cream, especially around menopause. And I have seen women working through our methods, doing this healing journey, and who after some time will feel less of a need of that. So I mean, it's up to every woman. It's like when women are asking me, should I wear a pessary? Or can I, like, or should I continue to do Kegels? Like, ultimately, of course, everything is up to each woman, and you need to find your own path. And having pelvic floor dysfunction is a big challenge. So whatever ways you can find to cope with it, and especially, so what I would recommend if you want to heal it from a more like non-invasive natural perspective, that if you take some kind of more external support from, let's say, the medical system, that you at least get rid of it from time to time to check in with your body, because symptoms are here to tell us something. Symptoms are messengers that we need to have a look at something, and we need to do things differently. So I can't say like if estrogen cream is safe. I know that, yeah, I think we all know that there are side effects, although I don't believe in side effects because they are effects. Let's not like diminish what they are with estrogen cream. So yeah, that's not like a clear yes or no, obviously, but I prefer to reflect more around these types of questions than giving like a yes or no. I don't know what your thoughts are, Abby.
The same. So, speak to your doctor if you've got a pre-existing medical condition and you're thinking of starting something like estrogen cream, or in fact any sort of patch or anything else that you're going to put on your body or into your body. And when it comes to the kind of working through holistic remedies, again, check regularly. I say this for people who are, for clients and ladies who are on support for high blood pressure. The more they practice hyperpressives, I get them to go to their doctors and check their blood pressure, because all my women have had to, they've reduced their blood pressure medicine, and most have ended up quitting it because they didn't need it anymore. But they've done it in conjunction with their doctor. So they've not just stopped their blood pressure medication. So it's the same for things like estrogen cream as well. The more we mobilize the pelvic floor, the more movement we get in it, the more juicy the fascia gets, the less likely you are to need to use it.
Beautiful. I just want to give a shout out to Marlene Stott Cohen. Thanks to all the contributors. And at 81 with stage 4 POP or POP, would it be possible to eliminate pessary using these healing methods from the book?
Yes, it would. Absolutely.
Yes, it's consistent practice. It really is consistent practice, using a range of modalities. So within Moonrise, we look at the fact that issues can come from scar tissue, and scar tissue needs to be mobilized. So we look at scar tissue within the book as well, and then other ways that we can mobilize our pelvic floor. And it's really important to create function, and function is the biggest thing. Yeah.
Yeah. And we have, I think she's 93, our oldest woman, who have seen results and reversed a lot of the symptoms that she was experiencing. So short answer is yes, but
Yeah.
there's so much more to say.
Yeah, there is. And it is about your dedication. It's about, that's what we always say that's what I say to all my clients, and that's what we say within Moonrise, is that it is about how much you want to heal. So it's how much you're willing to put into your healing journey. If you just read the book and don't do any of the exercises, it's not going to work, you know. So it's going to be very much up to how consistent you are and how much you want to put into it. I mean, I know for me, I discovered hyperpresses and I practiced all the time to start with. Probably too much because I'm a bit extreme. Yeah, the more you practice, the more consistent you are, the better. Yeah.
Beautiful. Couple more. The Anne Boleyn Files and Tudor Society. I was training for a half marathon before I was diagnosed with a grade 1/2 bladder prolapse, and also doing weights through an online program. And I feel a bit lost to what I can or can't do. So I just sent a link where you can do a simple assessment, and that gives you exercises from Filippa's YouTube channel if you want to start there. But I wonder if you guys have anything more to add.
Yes. This question I get a lot, and I have a YouTube video with a like more in-depth answer.
What's the title of that video?
Do's and don'ts with pelvic floor dysfunction or something like that. Well, the thing is, we are so conditioned in others telling us what we can or can't do. That's the framework we're coming from, and especially when it comes to health. Because we've been going to doctors. If something is wrong, we go to doctors expecting them to give us answers. And I think when it comes to healing prolapse or pelvic floor dysfunction, we need to turn that around completely and look at it from, what does my body tell me? I need to start to listen to my body. And that is really, really hard. And as a yoga teacher, I know that, you know, many yoga teachers just say in class, like, listen to your body. And like, as that would be super simple, but it's actually to learn a new language.
Yep.
And for me, I would never say to a woman, you can do this and you can't do that. I would give definitely recommendations, such as if you've tried Kegels for many months or even a month or a few weeks, and it didn't help you, maybe you can pause that. Like that seems to be a good way forward. When I was experiencing prolapses, I got a list of things I couldn't do, which just froze my nervous system even more. And what you talked about, Abby, like with the freeze response in the nervous system, like I was just like, okay, wait, can I do this or not? And it was, you know, it was all the, like, you can't lift heavy. I had a baby and a 3-year-old. And that was like affecting my nervous system the most, I think, because I really wanted to lift my 3-year-old. But I could, like, I didn't. But that froze me even more because that was also a process for me. Like the relationship I had with him was affected by the baby. And I wanted to be as close to him as I could. And the doctor's recommendation was to not be that. But I think I would have felt better in my nervous system if I lifted him. So it's always like, you know, what makes you feel good? And if you can start to track if symptoms are getting worse by something that you do, of course, do less of that. Try to do it in a different way or try to do something else. Like it's an explorative journey. And I understand that you are confused in what to do or not. But the best tool I can give you is this type of mindset. I'm not going to give you a list of things you can or can't do. It's also very different if you're in the beginning of your healing journey, more like in the middle or towards the end also, of course. So, yeah.
I think it's a good segue.
I guess for me, just very quickly with that one as well, what I would look at if you were training for a marathon and you were lifting weights and you feel that this was what happened, it's not necessarily the exercises you were doing or the running for the marathon that's caused the issue. There's always a root cause. So if we go back to the basics of what was going on with your body at the time, my initial thing for you would be to become more aware, so you can feel what you feel is making it worse. The way Filippa was talking, what Filippa was talking about, but also I bring it right back to breath for you and just see what the dysfunction. Because there's no bad exercise. There's no exercise that's not for you. It's the execution of the exercise with your whole body and your breath. So it's awareness, it's breath, it's awareness, but it's also, just really listening and zoning into your body and feeling what's going on. But yes, go back to your breathing, please.
So a couple of questions. I'll give them back to back so both of you can answer both the questions if possible. So did either Philippa or Abby use any supportive devices at the beginning of your journey? If not, how did you manage your daily discomfort? And the other question's about breathing, Abby, which is I've heard a lot about the importance of breathing. I'm primarily a mouth breather over a nose breather. Does mouth breathing have a big impact on pelvic health? So one is about mouth breathing. The other is about how did you guys start your journeys with or without supportive devices? Abby, you want to go first?
Okay, so I didn't use any supportive devices when I first discovered all of this. I didn't even know about HES. Fair. My doctor didn't even mention it. She was just like, well, you've got prolapses, here's some exercises. I'm going to send you to the physio. It was really very vague. I was very lost. To be fair, I found EVB shorts, which I used to put on if I was going for a long walk with the kids, but they're quite tight and restrictive. And the more I've learned about the pelvis and the body over the years, the more I know that we want to keep as much mobility and movement in the pelvis as possible. So restricting movements maybe not the best thing. So for me, I used hyperpressives, and I have a rescue one I used to do because I used to teach high school kids. So I couldn't go to them, hey guys, I've just got to pop off to the toilet all the time. But what I used to do is in between classes, put my feet up against a wall and do 360 breath and an apnea. And this used to help pull everything up so that I'd feel that I didn't have that heaviness all day and the pain all day. And when I got home, I'd spend quite a lot of time with my feet up as well. So I'd be lying on my back with my feet on a wall or a chair. And that's kind of how I managed it. How did you manage yours?
I didn't use any kind of external device. I felt it was not for me intuitively, which was a really nice feeling. Like at least I knew something was not right or right for me. But it was really, really hard, especially before I started with hypopressives and all the healing modalities, because I just felt my body had betrayed me. I couldn't embody my own body. And that is a really weird feeling, and you feel so powerless. And I remember for a couple of weeks, I was having a baby and breastfeeding, so I stayed most in bed, just lying down breastfeeding, which kind of saved me in a way, because I didn't have to do like a lot of walking and cleaning and all of that. But for a period, I was crawling on all fours to the bathroom, because I was like, every time I stood up, I froze. Like I just felt, I could feel everything like in my pelvic floor, and that it was like horror. It was so horrible. So that I did. But actually for me, as soon as I started with just the breathing, just the hypopressives, and slowly starting to shifting my mind, even though I had probably the same physical sensations, I was not as distressed by it. And that was the biggest change for me in the beginning of the healing journey.
Yeah, it helps calm your nervous system.
Yeah, the other question?
Mouth breathing, nose breathing.
Yeah, mouth breathing, nose breathing. You want to start?
Okay, so the best thing for us as humans is to nose breathe. So the best thing is for us to inhale through our nose and exhale through our nose. However, when I first start working with people, I ask them to exhale through their jaw, but through a relaxed jaw. And the reason that I cued this initially is because most people carry so much tension in their jaw. And if they have tension in their jaw and the roof of their mouth, then this will also create tension in their pelvic floor and their pelvis, and also in the thoracic diaphragm. So it'll make breathing difficult. But after you've nailed breathing with a relaxed jaw and having a relaxed jaw all day, then we go back to and exhaling. It just means your body gets all this information. So as you inhale through your nose, your body gets information about the chemicals in the air, the heat, the temperature, what it's going to have to do next. So yeah, that's my answer, Filippa.
Yeah, and to add to that, the temperature also shifts when it goes through the nose, so it's much more adaptable, or the lungs, the alveoli that transport the oxygen into the bloodstream, it's more easy accessible for that process to happen. And we also have like a cleaning thing, filter behind our nose. So you'll get more clean air into your lungs compared to the mouth. And I just want to say a very simple tip to make you breathe more through the nose. It's to put tape on your lips. This may feel claustrophobic for some, so don't do it if that like causes stress or anxiety for you. But you can put the surgical tape like this in this vertical, not horizontal, because that may
But you do
affect.
it during the so you do it just during the day, Filippa. So you can do it during the daytime, just for 5 minutes maybe to start with, and just
Exactly.
build.
And then you can do it also while you sleep, because that will make sure your mouth is not completely open, and that can make you do less snoring and lots of other stuff too. But that's another, but just starting, of course, with more awareness into your breathing, and spending time actively breathing through your nose will help a lot.
Hey, Abby, one question that I just realized I missed is you speak about breathing and blood pressure and hyperpressives. Can you just elaborate what you meant by that? Was one of the questions around blood pressure.
So one of the contraindications for doing an apnea breath, so in hyperpresses, we do what's called the 360 costal breathing, which everybody can do and has amazing benefits. And it's actually that breath that creates the functional pelvic floor. However, we also have what's called an apnea breath that creates a lift from inside your body. Now, if you have high blood pressure and you do the apnea breath, what the apnea breath does is, for a moment, it rises your blood pressure while you're doing the apnea. So if you've already got high blood pressure and you try to do the apnea, then it's going to raise your blood pressure even higher. So we recommend that if you have unmedicated high blood pressure, so that you're not balancing your blood pressure out with medication, that you don't do the apnea initially. You do the 360 lateral breathing and the poses, and then keep going back to your doctor and checking your blood pressure until it's normalized, and then you can start doing the apnea. If you are on medication for high blood pressure, so your blood pressure is balanced, then you can absolutely and utterly do the apnea. After the apnea, so after the high blood pressure, we have a little spike in blood pressure during the apnea, but after the blood pressure, after the apnea, we have a better delivery of oxygen to all the capillaries and all the external areas of our body. So it's really, really beneficial for us. The apnea breath also, the pause is called intermittent hypoxia, and there's now lots of research being done how intermittent hypoxia can help with brain aging. So there's lots of bonuses.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple of comments around how hyperpressives has helped somebody feel much more connected to their core, better stomach and bowel movements. So obviously, there's a lot of good effects there. Okay, so a couple of last questions before we do some announcements. Any quick tips on core pelvic floor engagement during workouts, yoga, Pilates? I end up over-engaging and my teacher tells me not to, and I'm overthinking it. Will my prolapse get bad if I don't engage? Abby?
Breathe. Don't hold your breath. Breathe, and breathe regularly. Make sure you're doing a 360 lateral costal breath. So you're inhaling into the sides and the back of your rib cage. It's really important because that's what's helping to create a better control of the intra-abdominal pressure. And it's super, super important. And it doesn't matter what exercise modality you're in, whether it's weight training, whether it's running, whether it's yoga, whether it's Pilates. If you can get that 360 breath and get it really, really well, then it's going to help you create core stability and spinal stability too.
Beautiful.
Yes, and I would just want to add, to move away from saying my prolapse. If you want to keep it, you can say my. If you are ready to let it move through you and dissolve, say the. And I talk more about this on day 1.
There you go. All right. So let's get into a couple of last things here. First of all, I want to start by saying all the material from the last 3 days are going to be on this channel, so you can come back and watch them. You're going to get an email with all the resources summarized since you participated live. So you're going to get an email with day one's resources, day two's resources, and obviously the book as well. You're going to get that via email later today. So nothing to be done from your side. You'll get it all in your inbox. If you don't get it in your inbox, write to us or comment on this channel and we'll get it organized. Yeah, and I want to know if you guys want to do Super Healer Summit 2025. We had lots more teachers that wanted to join us, but we just couldn't fit them in this time. So comment if you'd like to see Super Healer Summit 2025. We'll love to organize it next year. Obviously, we want to make it even more bigger, not just focused on pelvic floor, but about being being feminine. There's so many more themes that we can focus on. So if you do, comment below, and we'd love to do it for you. And then I want to quickly also say that we have, for those that are just starting out, the YouTube channel over here has a lot of content. We'll also send you one of the resources, which is a free pelvic assessment. And that at the end of the assessment, you get exercises based on your answers, which are also free. But if you want to work more in depth, we have a 12-week cohort program. And the next one starts 22nd of January. We are building a waiting list right now. We have about 80 women on it. So if you want to join us and work with us, you'll get a link in an email, and I'll put it up in the comments as well, so you can join the waiting list. We want to. The reason we have the waiting list is we want to make sure the program actually will work for you. So we ask you a series of questions, we invite you to a workshop, and then we take your money. And it's about $1,000 in investment for the 12-week program. So it's a commitment, right? So we want to make sure it's going to work for you and it's going to work for us. So that's why we're doing it this way. So spots open end of this month for that program. So thank you so much. I don't have anything else to add. 2025, yes, I see a lot of comments here. Yes, 2025. Thank you so much. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. You'll also get the book later today. Yes. Yeah, Elizabeth, you're going to get the book by email. Yeah, Abby and Filippa, any final words before we end for the day?
I guess from my point of view, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much, Mahesh, for the idea. Thank you so much, Filippa, for being here too. And that if you're thinking about joining the 12-week program and you're not sure it's for you, join the waitlist and find out more information about it. It is an amazing program. I've tried lots of pelvic floor programs because I try everybody else's, but this one is really, really amazing. So yeah, I look inside.
Yeah, no, I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart to all of you for being here, spending time, and again, helping create this paradigm shift that we need around women's health and pelvic health, to educating yourself to take the best possible decisions for you. That's the key here. Yeah. Again, we don't have all the answers for everyone, but we can give maybe interesting information and perspectives that I really hope can be fruitful for all of you. So thank you for being open and curious and spending time investing your resources, your time, and maybe even money in this.
Thank you all. So watch out for an email later today with all the links and the book. And yeah, if you have any questions, you can always write to support@moonrise.health. I'll also put it in the chat. It's support@moonrise.health. We try to answer as fast as possible, between 24 48 hours usually. We have a real nice team that is here to help you out. So yeah, so together we can conquer summits. Thank you so much for the last 3 days. And yeah, thank you for showing up. Take care. Have a great evening, great day, great afternoon, wherever you are. Wow, we made it.